We have got to talk about the markets and where they're heading, and also to give an update on Tesla. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and do not buy anything with Velcro. I hear it's a total ripoff. We are going to look at SPY, QQQ, and Tesla. We're going to take a technical analysis look at each of them. Tesla has their earnings tomorrow in the after hours, and their charts way interesting. Wait until you see what I got for you there. I'll tell you about the free stocks from Moomoo. I'll tell you where you can see my buys and sells, and join my Patreon, which also has my options course that I'm building out over there, and also the Tesla stock price prediction and earnings forecast over there as well, available to every tier that is there. A quick correction from yesterday: Apple has their earnings not on Thursday, October the 26th, as reflected on Trading Economics. I believe they used an unconfirmed date. The confirmed date is November 2nd. So thank you, whoever it was in the comments who let me know that that date was misreported. I have now put out that correction. November the 2nd is when that is, according to Apple's own investor relations page. All right, let's get into the charts on this thing. So here we're looking at the SPY, and when we look at that bull flag that we have turning up here, man, that is pretty. We have the RSI is ripe on this thing. These top wicks aren't all that encouraging for us, that we keep on retreating from. What is that level? That level is about 438 down to 437. We keep getting rejected from that range in there, this little gap that we have in here. So really, if we want to see this continue, not only do we have to break up above the 50-day, which is this dark blue line that's coming down this way, which currently is almost at 439. It's at 438.94. And then also, like I said, 437 is also a rejection level for us. So getting through 437 to 439 is going to be rough, but should we be able to break over that, and the momentum is there, the chart formation that we have is there. As a matter of fact, here on each of these, I'll show up my drawing skills with a mouse. Look at this. There's that line that we have to break over. Here's the 50-day we also have to get over. I'll get rid of that for right now. But this is that flag formation that we have building right now, and it is possible that we finally get a chance to come up and test out that top of the trend. We're going to have to be looking for that. And again, this is on SPY, so be looking for that. And let's go ahead and trash those. We'll get rid of those pictures for right now. Oh, that top price, by the way, that puts us, I said, at 442, I thought would be the ultimate rejection level. It is possible. Should we hit it soon enough, we hit the top of this trend line, that we hit more like 444, maybe as much as 445. We're going to have to look at that, see if this momentum does hold out, if the volumes hold out, if we keep on getting that push going. Netflix and Tesla, I think Netflix is also on the 18th as well, along with Tesla. That's tomorrow in the after hours that we should be looking for those companies. So that's SPY. We're going to go from there over to QQQ. So here we're looking at QQQ, and you can see for this one, this dark blue line is the 50-day, and that 50-day is currently sitting at 366.81, so almost 367, and we closed today at 368. We are above it. We still have it as support for us, not resistance like it is for SPY, and you can see the top of the trend line and just how solidly we got rejected off that trend line. We hit that pretty hard last Thursday into Friday, and then we recovered back over the trend line. We dropped down below it today for a little bit, and once again recovered. So there is still a lot of momentum going on here. It is decreasing. We need to be watching for that. Should we cross back down over 50 on the RSI, that could be signaling to us that we're going to go lower, and then the 50-day that is currently acting as support will turn to act as resistance. So be on the lookout for that. We closed today at 368. And in the post-market, it looks like we're still rocking right around 368. We could possibly push back up to 373, so be on the lookout for that. And given how much room we have up in SPY, if these markets move together, maybe we even come out and try out maybe a double top that we would have somewhere in here about 378, maybe up to 380. That's assuming that the SPY also carries on with that momentum. And we'll have to see. Big tech earnings are the thing to watch, by the way. So everything big tech is going to be signaling for us whether or not we break this trend line and maybe meet this top, possibly even push through it. Now, mind you, putting in a higher high is the first sign that we're kind of moving out of this. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the geopolitical concerns that we have, macroeconomic concerns that we have. There's a lot of things looking forward that doesn't keep me too bullish on the markets overall, but I do. And I told you I would tell you my results. As I have in my previous videos, I will tell you my results, how I'm playing every day that comes along, and I almost always have different buys and sells going on that keep me in the market and keep on generating that cash pile for me for when I'm ready to really start pouring back into some of these stocks. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, let's get over to Tesla, TSLA. Their earnings, by the way, are in the after hour. So I'm going to leave up the Fibonacci's for right now. I do want to remind you, if you've seen this before, if not, then here it is for the first time. Here's the narrowing that we've been on so far. For Tesla, we have room down to about 244. leading up to earnings. Following earnings, I don't know that we stay in this formation. I think following earnings, we'll either blast through the top of this thing or fall through the floor. I'll give further commentary on that in just a moment, but this is the narrowing that we've been undergoing. A breakout is coming. It's on our way. We can see in the RSI that we keep dancing around the 50, and that's between bullish and bearish and trying to make up its mind. We're above the 50-day, which is a bullish sign for us. And we dip below it a little bit here, a lot more there. And each time return above it, it is starting to slope downward, kind of flat on us. So there's a lot of decisions being made right now about Tesla, at least as far as the markets go. So let's move from there down to the hourly chart. So check this out. So now we're looking at the hours of this. And look at this formation that we have going on here. Here goes my awesome... I'm left-handed, by the way, and I'm using a mouse right-handed. So not only is drawing with a mouse not ideal, but I'm also using this hand and I'm left-handed, and that makes it more difficult. So we actually have a bull pennant forming up here, coming off this double bottom. So that's actually a really good sign for us. The momentum is sort of in the right spot. It's at about 50. We want to see that momentum push up. From there, maybe we can cross back over 255. If we can, we have room to 257. If we break that, we have room to 259. And I think that this is possibly, should we see a strong day in the markets tomorrow. So strength from the SPY coming off its bull flag, continued momentum above the 50-day with the prices that we have in QQQ. So assuming that tomorrow is also green and we get that excitement in Tesla, we continue to run up above that, that could be very good for us. Then it is possible that we do continue to push up over that and see continued strength up to about that 260 mark. So we're going to watch for that. So that's in tomorrow's market. And then in the after hours, we get earnings. So if we get that run up, and I've said this in previous videos, if we get that run up prior to earnings, I would say at this point up to 260, that only to me solidifies the fact that I should go short on earnings and that we're going to see this price plummet back down through. I don't know to what level we start to see it retracing from there. Let me actually take this down, and what we'll do is we'll put up some new Fibonacci's on this one and really take a look at what prices that would be. So let's assume for a moment, let's click here, and there we go. That's the button I want. So what we're going to do is take this top price that I have put in here, and we're going to go down to the bottom of that pole that we had there. And what that can tell us is where we can expect to go. So 257, 255. So it'd start falling back down through these things. Maybe, depending on earnings, I could actually see this being something that we get decent guidance for Q4 and then a lot of uncertainty about 2024. And that uncertainty about 2024 being the thing that kind of settles that price back down. So for this one, I don't know, this arrow I think is going to be a little bit misleading. If I were to give an actual, what I could see is more like a realistic take on this one, I think that we do return maybe back to this 50 period that we have right around 253, that things do settle significantly for us. Maybe we even come back down to 250. Anything below 250, which by the way is right about here as we look at this, that starts to get into a lot of trouble. So for me, what am I doing? I'm most likely, especially if we get a run up tomorrow, let me say it this way. If we get that run up tomorrow, if we get that run to 260, I am most certainly at that point in time taking out a put option position on Tesla for their earnings, expecting that we hear something that allows them to fall. And that is risky because that's choosing a direction for something, like putting those put options out there. That's something that, should this thing blast off, go to the moon, that could take that put option that I took out there and make it pretty much worthless, like before I even get the chance to do anything with it, because the earnings are in the after hours. So I do want to put that risk out there. But if we do pop leading up to earnings, then shorting earnings, I believe, for me, is the right call. So you guys can let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. I do want to point out that I am long-term bullish on Tesla, that these profits that I take, I can roll them right into more shares of Tesla. Taking the puts, of playing that minutia as it comes along, it really allows me to amplify my portfolio. And that leads me to these offerings that I have for you. So let me put those up there real quick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So free shares from Moomoo. I have a link down in the description. You can get it. I trade my options through there. I post them over at the Discord. Here are the deposit levels for Moomoo, and here's the free stocks that go along with those deposit levels. A free share of Tesla or Google at that $5,000 deposit level, guaranteed. Over from there, the Patreon, that link is also down in the description. If you sign up over there, you get access to my Tesla stock price prediction and earnings forecast up through 2030. And then I also have my options course where you can learn how to amplify your portfolio through the power of options. All right, so about the results of the trades that I made, I almost forgot to tell those to you guys. So I'll start off with one of the more lackluster things, and that is the straddle that I took out on Friday, just trying to kick ideas around and think about, exactly how to play this going forward. I made a 1% profit on that. Not huge. For straddles, it is something that mitigates your results in the first place. I knew it wasn't going to be anything big, but I wanted to try it, see what it was like, and it was okay. I don't know that I'll do that specific sort of play in the future, but I do want to write down my thoughts on that one. NVIDIA, I had a day trade on NVIDIA today that paid me 6% in profit. HE, I had out there, Hawaiian Energy, I believe, I don't know, HE is the ticker. I took out calls on that yesterday and turned it into 33% profit today. Dollar Tree, I had a call option play on that one for 32% profit. I think I took that one out yesterday as well and turned that into 32% today. And then day trade today on TQQQ, when I saw that we hit 370 in QQQ, I went short on that one with a put option play and turned that into 25% profit. And it took, I don't know, I'd have to look, half hour, an hour in order to get the 25% profit. So that was pretty nice. An update on my Disney position that I have right now for the options play on that one. My Disney call option is currently in 10% profit. I'm looking to actually turn that into 100% profit. We'll see if Disney can hit that $90 mark sometime soon. That's what I'm looking for there. And then my lackluster play for right now, and this is one I think I spent, I'd have to look, I think $54 is all I put out there. Fortinet, FTNT, that one, I'm just letting that one ride out, see if anything happens. That one, I thought maybe that we would have a head and shoulders play out. It didn't work, and it was one that was like, if this one works, it'll be good, and if it doesn't work, then it's probably gonna cost me big, and I reported it that way in the Discord. That one's an 87% loss. But like I said, a $54 play, I think right now it's like $7 or something like that. I'll likely just hold on to that one until Friday. When it expires, we'll have to wait and see. And the reason for that is that if time is really just that thing that I needed for the head and shoulders to play out, and I was slightly off with my timing for the option, then we'll let that happen. In light of everything else that I have that I was able to cash in on and capitalize on, that $47, well, I didn't like to see it go, even though it's not gone yet, but most likely it's going to be gone. We'll call it even $54. It's not the end of the world. So it was something that was highly speculative in the first place, high risk. I advertised it as such, and you can see exactly what happens in those risk type scenarios. And that's exactly why I didn't spend any more money than I did on that one. 1%, 6%, 33%, 32%, 25% profit. I'll take that stuff all day. I post all those buys and sells over at the Patreon. That link is down in the description. The SPY, the Qs, Tesla, I think they all have a significant chance of running up some more tomorrow. We're going to have to look and see if we get that green day. Tesla, I think, will sell off into earnings. Thank you guys for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.